Just thinking about me thinking about it gives me joy. Now, we have hypersensitivity, autism, and ADHD. So that's why it's very important to be very physical, active, doing things. So, yes, I was going to say something, but no. Because it would put me in a... Okay. It was going to put me in a position someone might come here or something. But actually, there's heaps of cars around, and there's the cameras. See that there? Show you guys something. It shows me an understanding of this world. You see that there? Hey, that's the camera. Where's the other cameras? Yep, there's a couple more cameras here too. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. There's a camera. You can see that, that's someone's using the washing machine. I don't use the washing machine here because a number of years ago I put some money in that didn't work. And it's just $4, but I have to put in 2 loads. So it's $8, and then there's the drying, so it's 16. So it's the same, but you put it in there twice over a couple of years ago, nearly 3 years ago, and all of a sudden it doesn't work twice. But you never experience that with the laundromat. You just do that, because it's right next to Pack and Save too. So I can, whilst it's washing for 25 minutes, I can get my groceries and then go for a walk, my daily walk, whilst it's drying for 40 minutes or stay there or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to go to the gym before 4 o'clock because that's open hours, and I'm going to pay for this week's. Because on Thursday I didn't pay for it because what happened? Something came out. I just misjudged it and I got a bit extra of groceries. So I've been running in here and just doing push-up routine. Last night and Thursday. So, Kaali Maa. See, Shiva is her husband. He represents dissolution of the ego, because if you're just pure masculine and no femininity whatsoever, my opinion is there would be no adaptability. There's strengths between the masculine and the feminine. The feminine changes fast. I'm not very good at clicking my fingers. The feminine changes fast. But if you're pure feminine with no masculinity, there would be no consistency. But if you were pure masculinity with zero femininity, you wouldn't be able to adapt or change. And so they're both just as valuable as each other, and they both have their places in the universe. They both have their places in our lives. So when Shiva is lying down between under Kaali Maa, it's not that because he's inferior to her, it's because he is accepting the reality that sometimes we have to adapt, sometimes we have to change. There's a difference between changing over time, which we all are, changing over time, but there's a difference between that and just waking up one day and all of a sudden you're a totally different person. It's like Monday or something, the 6th of July, 2027, or whatever. I'm just coming up with a number. 6th of July 2023. 24, 25, or whatever. And then you've got this identity, but you wake up on Tuesday, the 7th of July, and you're a totally different person. It's not like that. It's a slow, gradual process. It's learning through life experiences. It's, you know, how do we use the things that are a downfall to our advantage? Meaning that, what is it that, okay, you might be in one situation and you being your true, authentic self is going to be a burden to you and burden to those around you. Not because you're a burden, but if you were in another setting, if you were with another group of people, you being your true, authentic self would be a blessing to you and a blessing to all those around you because of the environment you're in. So that's the key, is finding out those types of things. How can you use your personality, your true authentic self, as a blessing rather than a curse? And a blessing for yourself as well as those around you. Because you might be a blessing to those around you, but that's not good if they're narcissists or psychopaths or whatever. But if you're a blessing and it's a blessing to yourself as well as those around you, it's a good thing. Sometimes, we have to have a stable identity. And I'm using symbolism here, okay? Blue represents infinity. I searched it up. It's out of respect, blue and red has always been blue, red and black has always been my three favorite colors. Blue and red throughout childhood and teenage years, and I came to really appreciate black once it came around 20. And I like some grey pants. I've got grey pants on. I just think it fits. But blue represents infinity, meaning in Hinduism, because we're talking about Hinduism here, it represents infinity, so that's something that's consistent, something that's stable. I forgot what orange represents. Oh, this is actually orange. I've always liked orange, but sorry, I'm mistaking it for red. Yeah, so I came to like orange in my 30s. When I was a child and teenager, my favourites was always blue and red. You can choose the pens, and which colour would you like? It was always, and they'd come to me and they'd be like, do you want blue or do you want red? And they'd have all these other colours, but I always wanted blue or I always wanted red. And they got to being in my 20s and it was blue, red and black, and I got to my 30s and now it was blue, red, black and orange. Black represents change, adaptability. It represents the void, the inevitability that we must adapt, we must change certain things of ourselves, because we have control of what we have control over, but we are not the universe, and the laws of the universe don't change for us. We must learn how to work with the laws of the universe without neglecting our true selves. And of course, change and adaptability also comes with death, the inevitable thing that happens to us all. I would like to think that I wouldn't die. Autistic people have extra, I don't know, it's because maybe we didn't, I don't know why, but there's a variety of things. Remember, 80%, or it fluctuates between 75 and 85% unemployment every year, are unemployed. So maybe a lot of them can't fathom the fact that they left because they didn't get to do what they did. Maybe they tried their hardest. Maybe they just thought the world was against them and gave up. I used to think the world was against me, but I was fighting against the grain. I'll talk about that in the third one. We're coming up to 3:30. It takes me 7 minutes to get to the gym, so I'm going to pay up that before they, Yes. And when I first left Christianity, I was like questioning things, and I always thought the dark was bad. So let's have a look into that. Then I listened to the audiobook of Satanism, and I didn't agree with me. Neither did Quran. I'll get on to the next one.